A very good afternoon to our honorable chief guest, guest of honor, respected chairman, director, members of the board, deans, esteemed faculty members, staff members, distinguished guests, parents, representatives from the media and industry, and very importantly, our incoming scholars and students. I, Pearl Johari, a second year student of the PGDM batch, along with my colleague,
Ved Pratap Singh, a second year student of the PGDM BDA batch, welcome you all to the induction ceremony of FORE School of Management.
today marks the beginning of a significant and transformative chapter in your academic and professional journey. You are the driving force behind the energy and enthusiasm that fills this hall today. With great excitement and anticipation, let us now commence this induction ceremony and celebrate the beginning of a remarkable journey for the scholars of the FPM Batch 8 and the students of the Batch 2026 to 2028.
As we begin this special occasion, we are reminded of a profound quote by Rabindranath Tagore. The highest education is that which does not merely give us information, but makes our life in harmony with all of existence. These words beautifully capture the power of education and its ability to shape individuals, organizations, and societies. At FORE School of Management, we firmly believe that education is not merely about acquiring knowledge, it is about inspiring change, nurturing leadership, and creating a meaningful impact.
As senior students, we can personally relate to the excitement, anticipation, and curiosity you are experiencing today. It feels like just yesterday that we were seated where you are now, eager to embark on our journey at FORE School of Management. From stimulating classroom discussions and insightful case studies to industry interactions and experiential learning opportunities, every experience has challenged us to think differently and grow professionally. The unwavering support of our faculty members and the camaraderie of our peers have helped us develop not only as future managers but also as confident individuals.
On this momentous occasion, we are honored to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Rajesh Mago, co founder and group CEO, Make My Trip, and our distinguished guest of honor, Mr. Bikas Kumar Singh, Vice President and India Head, Government Affairs, SAP. Along with our esteemed guest, we also have with us on the days Dr. BBL Madhukar, Chairman, FORE School of Management, Dr. Sabir Verma, Director, Professor Sriparna Basu, Dean Academics, and Professor Sangamitra Buddhapriya, Dean and Head, Gurugram Campus.
We request Dr. Subir Verma, Director, FORE School of Management, to please welcome our chief guest, Mr. Rajesh Mago, with a bouquet.
We now request Professor Sriparna Basu, Dean Academics, FORE School of Management, to welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Bikas Kumar Singh, with the bouquet.
Mr. Vikas Kumar Singh is about to arrive. We proceed. We now request the dignitaries on the dais to please light the ceremonial lamp to initiate the proceedings on this auspicious day and to bless the students for success in all their future endeavors.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
To commence this auspicious occasion, we seek the divine blessings by invoking Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge and learning, through a Vandana.
वरदे वरदे वीणावादिनी वरदे प्रिय स्वतंत्र नव अमृत मंत्र नव भारत में भर दे वरदे वरदे वीणावादिनी वरदे काउर अंदूर के बंधन स्तर वह जननी ज्योतिर्मय निर्झर कलुष भेद तम हर प्रकाश भर जगमग जग कर दे वर दे वर दे वीणा वालिनी वर दे वर दे वर दे वीणा वालिनी वर दे नवगति नव लय ताल छंद नव नवल कंठ नव जलद मंत्र नव नव नभ के नव विहग वृंद को नव पर नव स्वर दे वर दे वर दे वीणा वादिनी वर दे वर दे वर दे वीणा वादिनी वर दे अब अमृत मंत्र नभ भारत में भर दे, भर दे, भर दे। वीणा वादनी भर दे, वीणा वादनी भर दे, वीणा वादनी भर दे।
With the blessings of the Almighty, let us now formally commence the induction program. On the days, we have Professor Sangamitra Buddhapriya, Dean and Campus Head of the Gurugram campus. She is a professor of organizational behavior and human resource management. She also serves on the institution's executive board. With nearly 3 decades of distinguished experience in teaching, research, consulting, executive training, and academic leadership, Professor Sangamitra has made significant contributions to management education. In recognition of her contributions to education and leadership, she was named among the top 50 women in education leaders by the World Education Congress. She has held several key leadership positions at FORE, including Dean Academics, Chairperson of the Postgraduate Programs, and Executive Chairperson Admissions. She earned her PhD from the Faculty of Management Studies, University of Delhi, and was awarded the prestigious Shastri Indo-Canadian Fellowship for Postdoctoral Research at the Michael D. Groot School of Business, McMaster University, Canada. Her research interests include green HRM, intrinsic motivation, mentoring and coaching, diversity and gender issues, work life balance, and workplace stress. She is the author of 3 books and numerous research publications in reputed national and international journals. A highly sought after trainer, Professor Sangamitra has designed and delivered management development programs for leading public and private sector organizations, including ONGC, NTPC, GAIL, Power Grid, IOC, NHPC, SAIL, Punjab National Bank, Airport Authority of India, TCL, and Engineers India Limited, among others. She has trained over 2,000 professionals on leadership, emotional intelligence, team building, mentoring, work life balance, gender sensitivity, managerial effectiveness, and innovation. She has also served as a resource person for training women civil servants on gender related issues in management. She is the recipient of the Stars of the Industry Award for Excellence and her leadership in education. We welcome you, ma'am.
It is our privilege to introduce Professor Sriparna Basu, Dean of Academics. Professor Sriparna Basu is the Dean of Academics at FORE School of Management. A gold medalist from Jadavpur University, she earned her MA and PhD in Cultural Anthropology from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, USA, and brings over 27 years of experience in teaching, research, and industry consulting. An avid researcher, she has published in A-star journals in the management domain. She regularly contributes expert commentary on technology ethics. Dr. Basu has been honored with several prestigious awards, including the Devang Mehta National Education Award in 2024 for her exceptional contributions as a researcher and institution builder at FORE School of Management. She also received the Best Institute Builder Award 2024, celebrating her role in strengthening academic and institutional excellence at FORE School of Management. Her unwavering passion for research continues to inspire us all. Her training and consulting activities in the industry include sessions taken for ONGC, ONGC Videsh, NHPC, Indian Oil, IFCO, Mitsui, Bayer India, Tata Motors, PNB, and many more. We welcome you, ma'am. We request Professor Basu to address the incoming batch and share her insights with them.
Good afternoon, esteemed dignitaries on the dais, Dr. BBL Madhukar, Chairman, FORE School of Management, Dr. Suvir Verma, Director, FORE School of Management, Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Rajesh Mago, co-founder and Group CEO, Make My Trip, our guest of honor, Mr. Bikas Kumar Singh, Vice President and India Head Government Affairs, SAP, Dr. Sangamitra Buddhapriya, Dean and Campus Head, Gurugram of Campus, esteemed faculty members, respected parents, and dear students, a very warm welcome to you all. Today, we celebrate the joining of two vibrant communities, future business leaders in our PGDM programs, and the next generation of scholars and researchers in our doctoral program. My warmest congratulations to each of you for arriving at this moment. At FORE School of Management, we believe in something deeper than academic excellence alone. We are guided by a principle that emphasizes socially responsible leadership, globalism, and a strong entrepreneurial spirit. We believe that organizations do not run on capital alone. They thrive on the integrity, empathy, and vision of the people who steward that capital. We encourage our PGDM graduates and our FPM scholars to look at success not merely by material gains, but also by the positive impact they create in the lives of people and communities. These values are not new. They echo through time across traditions. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna advises Arjuna on the path of karma yoga, the discipline of focusing on the merit of the action performed with excellence and integrity by removal of self centeredness. Closer to our times, corporate leaders like Sridhar Vembu, Satya Nadella remind us that empathy, when combined with technological ambition and curiosity, has the power to transform industries and societies. There will be demanding late nights with assignments and exams, moments of doubt during rigorous research, and the constant challenge of balancing work with personal time. But this difficulty is also an invitation to grow. Please lean on your peers, your faculty mentors, and the larger FORE School of Management community. You are not walking this path alone. Please venture out of your known comfort zones. Try to solve problems rather than being marked by them. Maybe you will be the next Xerox's Desai, who built Titan into India's first world class watch company. As you embark on this exciting journey, please know that our entire ecosystem is invested in your success. We want you to emerge as successful professionals who lead with conscience and compassion. May these years with us be filled with meaningful discoveries, lasting friendships, and the joy of being the thinker and the practitioner you wish to be. Welcome aboard. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. for welcoming the new batch and sharing your insights into the important institutional activities that will shape students' career. Now, we have the pleasure of inviting our esteemed director, Dr. Subir Verma, to deliver the welcome address. Before doing so, we would like to briefly introduce his distinguished career and accomplishments.
Professor Subir Verma is a distinguished academician, researcher, and institution builder with over 34 years of experience in management education. He has held key leadership positions at premier institutions such as Director, Institute of Management, Nirma University, Dean at IMI Delhi and IIM Ranchi, and Chair of Placements, the flagship PGDM and International Accreditation at MDI Gurgaon. He was also a visiting faculty and researcher in ESCP Paris, a gold medalist from University of Delhi, and a PhD from IIM Ahmedabad. Professor Verma is widely recognized for his contributions to organizational transformation, leadership development, and negotiation skills through teaching, research, consulting, and executive education. He has been a consultant with BrahMos Aerospace, Union Bank of India, National Geographic Channel, Nestle, National Insurance, amongst others. He has independently conducted more than 100 workshops and delivered countless lectures on leadership development and negotiation skills for almost all Navratnas and Maharatna PSUs, RBI, and nationalized banks and Indian subsidiaries of reputed MNCs such as Nestle, Microsoft, Intel, HP, etc., and Indian companies such as Carrier Media, Baxter, Apollo Tyre, etc. He sits on the selection board for senior management of ONGC, Union Bank of India, and Central Bank of India. A prolific author and researcher, Professor Verma has published extensively in leading peer reviewed international journals and authored more than six notable books, of which the most recent is Role of Boards Building Sustainable Competitive Edge. He has presented papers in reputed international conferences such as AOM, EGOS, APROS, ISA, and IHRM. His contributions have been recognized with several prestigious honors, including being named one of India's greatest leaders by Asia One magazine in 2025 and receiving the IAC Change Maestro and Institutional Builder of the Year Award 2025. Most recently, he has been elected convener of the working group of ISO Geneva to formulate standards on sustainable human resource management for adoption by more than 180 signatory member countries of the world. He is the first HR professional from India to hold this distinguished global responsibility.
Distinguished Chief Guest, Sri Rajiv Magoji, co-founder and Group CEO of Make My Trip. Guest of honor, Sri Vikas Kumar Singh, Vice President and India Head Government Affairs, SAP. My most respected Chairman of our board, Dr. BBL Madhukar. Honorable board members, Sri Venkat Sir, Dr. Devendra Pathak, our Secretary of FORE and Society, heads of other verticals of FORE, deans, program chairs, faculty colleagues, staff members, proud parents, and most importantly, you, the Foreians. A very good afternoon and a very warm welcome to each one of you. Now, today is a day that I genuinely look forward to, not as a ceremony, but as a renewal. Every new batch that walks into FSM brings fresh energy, sharper questions, and the quiet, unstoppable potential to change the world of business and society. You are no exception. If anything, you carry an especially compelling promise that you will do so. FORE School of Management was built on a conviction, and here are the leaders who built it, that management education must go beyond textbooks and balance sheets. It must shape not just capable professionals, but ethical leaders with a global perspective and a grounded sense of purpose. For over 3 decades, that conviction has guided everything that we do. Even now, it is guiding us, and your presence is an affirmation of the same. You have joined today a community of more than 8,004 alumni who hold positions of leadership across industries, geographies, and sectors. From boardrooms in Mumbai to financial institutions in Canary Wharf, London, from startups in Bangalore to global consulting firm in New York and the Wall Street. You are now part of that legacy, and that legacy is now for you to build. I know fully well that each one of you had a choice, just as I had a choice almost like 25 years ago to choose some other business school. Yet you chose us. And let me assure you one thing, your choice couldn't have been better. And I will tell you why I want you to think that way. One, we have a course structure that has been very thoughtfully redesigned. In fact, unlike the universities, which I consider to be a relic of the past with some stagnant structures of education, we at FORE School of Management keep on evolving with times. And the times have really changed, what with AI, what with data, what with the geopolitics, and what with the war. So our job today is to ready all of you for this new world that seems to have been disrupted and that keeps on changing all the time. One of the best way by which we can do is by changing the way and changing the context of education. And that's what we did, and we spent almost like 2 months doing all this. So we developed a new course structure that has been thoughtfully redesigned to groom you with competencies to perform the job roles as identified by the World Economic Forum, the Deloitte Report, the LinkedIn, and the McKinsey Consulting Group. Therefore, AI, data science, entrepreneurship, responsible management, and socio-emotional skills forms the core of the revised course structure for each one of you, irrespective of your, I would say, programs, irrespective of your specialization, and irrespective of your knowledge area. And if that was not enough, we benchmarked our curriculum and the placement trends, our placement trends, with the best B schools of the world and the top IIMs of the country. It is because of all this that our course structure is rife with industry-backed certifications and micro credentials. So now at the end of the day, you have a curriculum that is relevant, meaningful, immersive, and outcome-oriented. The focus is on learning. We have today at FORE School of Management 80-odd regular faculty members. An overwhelming majority of them have been very carefully chosen, and they have been drawn from the very best of the IIMs and the IITs and the universities of the world. Each one of them, each one of my faculty members, have been trained and certified by Harvard Business School for teaching with cases, and by the Goizueta Business School, Emory University, for using AI for teaching and learning. We are prepared in order to prepare you for tomorrow. Our location in Delhi and Gurgaon gives us a very strategic locational advantage. We always say the house that is at the corner has the comparative advantage where it can charge a higher rent. We have that advantage. We are now a compulsory pit stop for all the corporate leaders of any repute who are residing in Delhi NCR. I hope you understand the meaning of pit stop. How many of you watch the Formula car racing? There's a compulsory pit stop, right? So last year, we had more than 250 speakers who supplemented and augmented the conceptual learning with practice-based wisdom. We just don't teach from cases subscribed from Harvard Business School. We ensure that learning through case studies gets relived and authenticated when you get the context and the boundaries of the solution right. And that's the reason why we have a huge number of a galaxy of speakers from the corporates who visit our campus now and then. That means you don't only have to study in the class, but you have to stay back after the classes to listen to these great leaders. I'm preparing you for that tough times. So, with each one of the fourth point of which I would like all of you to understand is this: with us, each of one of you will imbibe the capabilities to manage the global context of work, of trade, of relationships. And that's the reason why we thought of fabricating and formulating a very intensive and a very complementary international immersion program. Students of the previous batch went to SDA Bocconi, ESSEC and Emilion Business School, that's at Paris in France, the Warwick Business School this year to UK, Frankfurt School of Finance and Management, Germany, United Nations Institute of Training and Research, Geneva, and the nearer home, NUS and NTU at Singapore. So be prepared. Please get your passport ready, and we'll ensure that you also get the visa. At times, some people accuse of academic tourism. It is not. It is the best way to immerse you into a sea where you learn cross-cultural management in the best way possible. Point number 5. This is for those who want to be the next generation Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs. We will soon have the Innovation and Incubation Center to help you undertake the disruptive journey from idea to lab and from lab to the market. And meanwhile, while we are creating that incubation center, getting our funding rights, there is an AI lab, there is a Bloomberg terminals, there's a very well-stocked library with more than 28,000 ebooks and 3,400 journals and research databases and tools to help you build the theoretical foundation for the next phase of your entrepreneurial journey. In FSM, that's the point number 6. In FSM, you have myriad ways to express yourself. There are clubs and committees which to learn, to hone, and build in you a more holistic personality. You will compete. You will learn how to work in teams. Most of you probably may not have been doing so because that's the way the Indian education system is formulated right from the very beginning, where we compete with our best other friends. But here, we teach you collaboration because organization is all about collaboration and then competing. So you will compete, you will learn how to work in teams, you will learn to lead committees, you will learn to manage your budgets, and you will also learn to make countless presentations to faculty and corporates alike. My dear sir, ladies and gentlemen, my students, you will be challenged and sharpened each day by us. Beginning next Monday, you'll be introduced to something no textbook can ever offer, can never claim to do so. You will peep into yourself. Through experiential learning, mindfulness sessions, and workshops on ethics, leadership, and communication, we begin the most important process of all, helping you understand that not just how to manage others, but you yourself. And I would say you yourself with all the warts and all the beautiful dimples that you may have. Now, in every induction program, I tell a story. This is not going to be different. So I'm going to which I think basically captures what I aspire to awaken in each one of you. So today I'm going to tell you a story, which is a modified version of what Victor Hugo, that 19th century French poet philosopher, wrote. And this is how it goes. So listen to me very carefully. Now, once upon a time, all good stories start with once upon a time. So the once upon a time is my words. Once upon a time, there was once a young bird which had spent its entire life in a single tree, perched on the same thick, familiar branch from the day it was hatched. The branch was strong, the canopy was comfortable, and the view, though narrow, was known. Day after day, the birds watched others fly, dipping into valleys, riding through thermals, crossing rivers. But that bird held on to that particular branch. One day, a great storm came. The wind howled. The tree shook violently, and the branch, that trusted, solid, dependable branch, that finally cracked and gave way. The bird fell, and then something remarkable happened when the bird was plummeting. It spread its wings, not because it had suddenly become stronger, not because the storm had become kinder, but because in that moment of falling, that fleeting moment of falling, it finally trusted something that it had always possessed, but it had never tested its own wings. It soared higher than it had ever imagined. And looking back at the familiar tree now, small in the distance, it understood that it had never needed the branch to be safe. It had only needed the courage and the capability to trust its own wings. Young friends, you are that bird. And we, the FSM, is the wind beneath your wings. The branch is your past, your achievements, your failures, your adversities, and your identity. Many of you who has arrived over here, you have been carrying a very familiar identity. You were the top ranker from your college, the star of your town, the hero of your road, the one who always had the right answer in the classroom. That is your branch. And while it served you well to get you over here, I would like to reiterate the famous paradox of success, which was so well articulated by Marshall Goldsmith. And listen to me very carefully. What brought you here will not take you there. Right? So move on. So your journey at FORE will ask you to let go, to fall, to be uncertain, to stay humble, so that you may finally discover the full wingspan of who you are becoming. Do not flee from challenges. Challenges and adversities are not obstacles to your growth. They are your growth. That had been the story of Steve Jobs. That's the story of Oprah Winfrey. That's the story of Nelson Mandela. That's the story of Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC. That's the story of Dan Vasela, the Novartis. And that's the story of my favorite person called Ping Fu, the founder of 3D printing. To each one of them, these adversities worked as a crucible which shaped their character, gave them a sense of purpose, and developed their internal compass. While they perfected their true north, their character, they also pursued success. And success, as one of most celebrated person whom I believe in, as Andy Grove of Intel said, comes to only those who are paranoid about it. It's time, my dear friends, that you have to become paranoid if you want to succeed. When I use the word paranoid, it means that you don't only have to sweat it out during the daytime, but you have to break into sweat while you're sleeping in the night, trying to become better in whatever you had done earlier. That's the way Sergei Bubka. How many of you have heard Sergei Bubka? Anybody who's heard Sergei Bubka? Any youngsters over here? My students, have you heard Sergei Bubka? None. Famous pole vaulter, the first pole vaulter, right, who broke the record of 6 meters while pole vaulting. He went up to 6.15. Okay. How many have heard of Armand Mondu Duplantis? Right, good. That's one. Anybody else? He went up to 6.31. Another pole vaulter. He has broken the record 15 times. Excellence is not their destination. Excellence is a journey. And remember, people like Usain Bolt, they win one Olympic gold and they prepare for the Olympic gold the very moment they won the previous time. Remember, there is no limits to possibilities. And when I talk about possibilities, nobody could be better than a person called Carly Tokas. I don't know how many of you have heard about this guy. This was the guy who was probably one of the best I would say, pistol shooter in a 25-meter range. And he used to shoot with his right hand. Then one, in a particular conflict which he had, he lost his right hand in a grenade attack. He developed his left hand and then won 2 gold medals in the Olympics. There are no limits to your possibilities. And that's what I would like each one of you to explore while you are at FSM and when you are outside FSM. To close all this, 2 years will pass sooner than you can imagine. You will make friends who become family. You will encounter ideas that fundamentally challenge and change how you see the world and how you think about the world. You will face moments that you're certain you cannot get through, and you'll be surprised. We have seen most of them getting through them any which way. Every student, more or less, tend to pass, unless until they decide that they would like to fail. We can't help you when you take such a bad decision for yourself. And remember all the time the words of Victor Hugo, trust your wings. Thank you very much. Welcome to FORE School of Management, and welcome to your future.
Thank you so much, sir, for that captivating welcome address and for inspiring our future managers. Your guidance and wisdom will undoubtedly shape the future managers and leaders who are sitting before us today.
Now, we will proceed with the induction oath. We request all the students of the new batch to rise and join Director Sir for the induction oath.
I think this induction oath is also for the family members, excepting for one word that may go from here to there, but I think it's for everybody of us. So you may all like to stand if you feel like. All right, here we are. In my induction to FORE School of Management, you can change that word if you are the parent, I take the following oath. I shall place the honor, dignity, and interest of my country above myself. You can repeat if you want to. I'm repeating, you can repeat with me. I shall place the honor, dignity, and interest of my country above myself. I shall conduct myself with diligence and decorum to enhance the prestige and reputation of the FORE School of Management. I shall strive my best to learn skills, acquire knowledge, and develop attitudes with a view to excel in life and contribute my best to the business world. I shall cultivate a quality of mind which enriches the values of love, compassion, hard work, truth, beauty, and goodness. I shall strive my best to be responsive to the needs of the society and be a good citizen of my country. Thank you very much. Amen.
It is our distinct honor to introduce our esteemed chairman, Dr. BBL Madhukar, to this August gathering. A visionary leader and an inspiring guide, Dr. Madhukar has made invaluable contributions to the field of education and institution building. It's a privilege to present a brief overview of his illustrious career and remarkable achievements.
Dr. BBL Madhukar is the chairman of FORE Society and FORE School of Management. He is a gold medalist in both MA Economics and LLB and holds a PhD. Dr. Madhukar has extensive experience in corporate management. He held numerous professional assignments, including CMD of two central government undertakings and board member of several public and private sector companies, namely MMTC Limited, Midco, PEC Limited, HMT Limited, MTPL Singapore, Nilanchal Ispat Nigam Limited, Eagle Flask Industries Limited, State Bank of India, etc. Before this, he had worked as a lecturer at a university in 4 years, teaching postgraduate students. Dr. Madhukar is the chairman emeritus of BRICS Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He is the chairman of the School of Aviation Science and Technology, a unit of Delhi Flying Club established in 1928. He is the chairperson of the Corporate Advisory Board for the School of Law, Lovely Professional University. He is also on the board of the New Delhi Institute of Management. Dr. Madhukar has visited over 60 countries in connection with export trade and industrial collaborations. He has worked as an expert in international business with the United Nations and completed a UN project on trade among SAARC countries. May we request our respected chairman, sir, to address the gathering.
Thanks a lot. I would, I would, I feel very delighted to welcome very accomplished persons in the dais, particularly the one who is the chief guest on this occasion, and also the guest of honor that we have with us. Kindly forgive me for addressing all of you from here. Well, it is nothing important than knowing all of you and to address all of you. I remember the occasion when I did my management colleges in England many, many years ago. And I remember that at that point of time, I should have learned how to speak everything in our own language. Unfortunately, I was studying this in England, and there were some occasions when the students coming from other countries who were also participated with me in the college as a college student, they would be surprised. They would be even wondering and asking as to whether we had any language of our own. That was the time when I learned that I should be speaking our own language, and so that the world knows that yes, we are an accomplished country. So, in those words, with those words, I have to certainly say that हम हम हमें एक हरबंस राय बच्चन की एक लाइन याद होती है कि लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों का कभी हार नहीं होती. These timeless words beautifully capture the spirit of today. Every meaningful journey begins with the courage to take the first step. And today, even one of you has done exactly that. As I would look around this auditorium, I don't see a new batch of students. I see only the dreams, aspirations, curiosity, and the potential to create meaningful change. I also see proud parents whose faith and encouragement have brought you here to this important research and mentors who are genuinely invest in your growth. Learn from their experience, ask questions, seek guidance, and never hesitate to challenge ideas because the best learning often comes with curiosity. Curiosity is a very important element in your learning system. Another enduring and strength of FORE is its alumni network. Today, more than 8,000 FORE students, ex-students, are shaping industries across the world with over 1,500 building global careers, 700 plus leading organizations in the senior leadership roles, and about 200 of them serving as CEOs of those organizations. These are innovators. They are innovators. They are they are entrepreneurs, strategists, policy makers, and business leaders driving transformation, influencing decisions, and creating lasting impact across global corporations, consulting firms, financial institutions, technology companies, and high growth ventures. Institutions are not remembered for their buildings they create, they are remembered for the people they shape. Over the next 2 years, this campus will become the backbone of your growth. On behalf of the entire poor family, I welcome each one of you wholeheartedly. May your time at FORE build your future and aspire to make you aspire to build the future that you create your own. Welcome to FORE School of Management. Your journey begins today. Maybe it is one of the purpose of excellence and lifetime learning. Thank you very much and wish you all the best, all the best, all of you. Thank you.
We extend our deepest gratitude to you, sir.
I'm requesting him to say one more.
खामोशी से बढ़ाते रहो पहचान अपनी खामोशी से बढ़ाते रहो पहचान अपनी हवाएं खुद ब खुद आपके नाम गुनगुनाएंगी खामोशी से बढ़ाते रहो पहचान अपनी हवाएं खुद ब खुद आपके नाम गुनगुनाएंगी थैंक यू
We extend our deepest gratitude to you, sir, for graciously sharing your profound wisdom with us and motivating us to reach greater heights in our endeavors. Thank you, sir. It is our privilege to introduce you all to our guest of honor, Mr. Bikas Kumar Singh. Mr. Bikas Kumar Singh is a multi sector public policy expert with diverse experience in economic policy making, tech policies, and manufacturing. Presently, he is the Vice President and India Head of Government Affairs, SAP. He has also worked with Lenovo, OYO, FICCI, and has been on multiple committees of ministries and industry associations. He's a passionate about taking regulatory and legal initiatives to simplify rules and regulations for the industry with the aim of achieving better ease of doing business and higher compliance. He is also a firm believer in the power of technology as a key enabler in India's march towards Viksit Bharat. Mr. Singh is a physics graduate from Delhi University, has an MBA in International Business from Delhi School of Economics, and a postgraduate diploma in cyber laws from Nalsar, Hyderabad. We humbly request Mr. Bikas Kumar Singh to deliver his address.
Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. So first of all, let me accept, more than you, I seem to be more scared, overwhelmed, and humble to be here, actually. Just to do the honors, Chairman Sir, who's just gone out, but went out saying something which is very, very important. I hope some of you may have got it, some of you may not get it, may not have got it, but I'll just try and repeat that. Ki khamoshi se gungunate raho. Idea is to be humble, to be quiet. Dunya aapka naam khud gungunayengi. I think you guys have reached a stage where, that's going to be very true for all of you. So, I'll apart from that, so thank you, Sir Subir sir, for having me here. For me, be sharing the dais with Mr. Rajesh Magao, that itself is such a humbling experience for me. I've been inspired by him. You would have heard right now that prior to SAP, I used to be working with Oyo, which is another, tech company into the hospitality side. And for all of us, both Mr. Magao and Mr. Deep Kalra, and I share some more this thing with him, with Mr. Deep, because his father was my boss when I was working in FICCI. So I've followed Make My Trip so closely. You really, none of the speeches or anything, you can just keep them aside. Just follow what Rajesh ji and Deepak ji have done and how they have brought Make My Trip to where it is. In case there is a book, I'm sure would be there. But just look at that. Be inspired. That's nothing could be better than that. So it's a great humbling experience. Professor Sriparna Basu, Professor Sangamita Buddhapriya, thank you very much for having me here. So I'll actually, you guys also would be almost in the same position as as I said, overwhelmed, slightly anxious, what's going to happen, slightly getting into that kind of a Zen mode where you must be thinking that, did I do the right thing? Did not do the right thing? Could I have been slightly better into some other institution and everything? But so what I'll do is that instead of really going into, I have a prepared speech, but I'll not really follow that. What I'll do is that I'll just start with, taking you through my own life journey. And probably you can look at how life is always full of surprises. And along with the surprises, there are rewards also. If somebody can grab it. So, with that moment, I'll tell you, I was always a good student. So, I landed up in Delhi University. I did physics honors. But 3 years in graduation, I realized, this is not my cup of tea. I should digress. I thought that I'm good at speaking. I have a logical mind. And so law was a very natural progression for me. A lot of people were surprised that why are you doing law after doing physics? But that's how I was. I did well in my law graduation. But then again, something very strange happened. I was just discussing with Professor Subir Verma the other day. So I belong to Bihar, actually. And in Bihar, my father especially, once he got to know that I'm going to do law, he was furious at me. He said that people who can't do anything in their life, they end up doing law. And that was the stage. I said, no, I think I can do well. There is a Supreme Court, there's a High Court. He said, nothing doing, come with me. He was an officer in the civil services. So he took me I belong to a very small town called Devghar. Now it's part of Jharkhand. So he took me to the district court over there. And he said, look, this is what happens in law. And lo and behold, there was this lawyer with a Hawaii chappal saying, Hujur, najaiz ho raha hai, Hujur, najaiz ho raha hai, usne usko paise diye. I said, no, this is not the way. But he was kind of furious. And then, good, bad, ugly, I kind of rebelled. I tried, to do my own practice here in the High Court. But that was way back. At that time, law was not very structured. The whole profession was not structured. I had to go to the courts in the morning. I used to take, since I was a science graduate, I used to take tuitions in the evening just to fend myself, pay for my room and other things and everything. Didn't happen really. And then I said that no, it's not happening. Father was not happy. I said, look, what should I do next? Then and that was an era when a lot of things were happening at WTO at that time. So there was GATT, I mean General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. There was agreement on services, and which I found to be pretty interesting. And because I was a lawyer, I was more inclined not towards the pure litigation side of it, but the allied side of it, as I may say so. So I was interested, and then suddenly that year itself, Delhi School of Economics, the Commerce Department, they came up with two new MBA courses, one in international business and one in HR. As I told you, I was a good student, so it was not very difficult for me. I cracked it. I went and joined them. And in the interview, GD was fine. I mean, up till then, the interview, 15 minutes interview, out of which 10 minutes, the professor kept on asking me, are you sure you want to join this? Are you sure you want to join this? I said, sir, I've come here because, yes, I want to join this. And that's how MBA happened. And since I had a combo of MBA and law, I landed up in FICCI. FICCI is the Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And that's where what I'm doing today, I mean, for last 35 years, got ingrained in me, which is public policy, corporate affairs, which I mean, while you guys would learn finance, you will learn, HR, you will learn marketing. This is an area which you will learn in your courses on something called business environment, and I'll be touching upon a couple of them today. In due course as well. And ever since, what happened is that FICCI was a great experience. I mean, they represent industry with the government, so they act as a bridge between the industry and the government to ensure that the policies, for example, the budget, what should be the focus in a budget every year that Honorable Finance Minister announces, what should be the key areas where we can do, how can exports grow. Those kind of policies are being made in consultation now. I mean, it's not a one-way process. And one could really get a ringside view of how government works, how policies are made. And that was a wonderful experience. And from there, then I became almost, and since I knew how policies can be made and what really works for a country like India, I was kind of, sector agnostic. So from there, I went into Denmark embassy. From there, I worked in a beer company, Carlsberg, for some time, setting up their entire compliance structure. From Carlsberg, I went into technology, which was Lenovo for almost 10 years. OYO, where I got the privilege of working very closely with Rajesh ji and others in that particular scheme. Not a very good time to be in OYO at that time because I joined them in 2020. And so, I mean, you can just try and correlate. I joined them in 2020 with, huge ambition that I'll do well over there. Having worked in MNC so long, let me do something for a country, homemade, company where I can grow. And I joined them in February 2020, and March is when COVID happened. And you can well imagine what happened to the hospitality sector, to the aviation sector and everything. But nevertheless, that's where probably, professors and, Professor Verma and others also talked about that these are really the testing moments which, test your mettle. I mean, either you get into a depression mode where you say that, no, nothing can happen, bad luck, bad timing and everything, or else you try to look for opportunities into whatever negative, your fate throws at you. Similar thing happened. So Make My Trip, OYO, others, what we started doing, and you will relate. So while the hotels got closed, what we did is that we transformed, and obviously the hotel owners were, in deep trouble. They were unable to pay their employees and everything. But what we did is that we started working with, at that time, Niti Aayog, they had, and the NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority. We worked with them. And what we did at that time, many of you may not be aware, you must have been in school at that time probably. What we did is that we converted our hotels into quarantine centers. We converted our hotels into, residential areas for doctors and nurses. Doctors and nurses, mind you, at that time, they were not allowed to enter into their apartment blocks or their societies because people felt that, they would be carrying the virus and everything. Now, where do they go? OYO actually stepped up. They came up and they converted this. So on one hand, what happened was that we created a business opportunity. On the other hand, business was actually helping people who had nowhere else to go. We were helping, Indians coming back from abroad who had to undergo compulsory quarantine, and we had to do that. So that's how, I mean, you can understand how you can transform uh, difficult situations into opportunities. And before doing that, even before Oyo and Lenovo, what had happened is that, Carlsberg, I was working in Danish embassy, and since I had a law and an MBA background, they wanted me to set up their entire compliance system. uh, they had targeted almost a 5-year time frame for that. And I don't know whether I should be happy about it or sad about it. What I did was I set the whole thing up in 1.5 years. Now, on one hand, that was a great experience, very satisfying as a professional. On the other hand, it actually rendered me jobless because I didn't have anything else to do. I mean, it was a new company. They had set up breweries. They had, invested heavily, and they didn't have anything to do. So almost for 6 months, I was without a job. I mean, I kept on trying as to where I go. But since I had that background, I had that faith in me, and I had that zeal that yes, I need to do something. While I was sitting at home and applying, I had 3 offers with me. I had an offer from IBM, I had an offer from ITC, I had an offer from Lenovo. IBM, I didn't want to go because they wanted me to help them with their entire labor structure and the laws that they were at that moment struggling with. ITC wanted me to, help them with their tobacco business. Again, I had done once in industry, so I said that no, enough of it. Lenovo that way was kind of it was technology, but then challenging. Mind you, it's a Chinese company. Obviously, because of our geopolitical situation and all the skirmishes that we keep on happening. I mean, I really had I took that challenge up. I mean, one, I was very confident that yes, technology is the way forward for a growing country like India. Technology is needed. Lenovo that way was in that particular space, providing PCs, providing laptops, providing mobile phones to people, who really needed them and what was required. But also at the same time, it was a Chinese company, so I knew that I'll be facing challenges. But then that's how it happened. I mean, it was wonderful. I actually, to the extent that uh, I started off my career in midway through my career. I actually arranged a meeting between the global CEO and Honorable Prime Minister. I mean, that was really a big thing at that particular moment of time. Almost 10 years in Lenovo. Then, as I told you, I took Oyo. Nobody had predicted that COVID will happen again. And what happened because of COVID was that the role that I was taken in for, actually became a duplicate role. So my boss, who was supposed to be moving abroad, also stayed back. I stayed back, and same story happened in multiple other things: the CFO, the legal team, and everything. So over there also, actually Ritesh called us up and said that, hey, all that plan that we had decided and everything has not worked. So I think one of you can only stay back, and one of you will have to look for opportunities outside. So again, same Carlsberg story, again looking outside, and then SAP happened. So what I'm trying to tell you in a nutshell is that, never, life is never a straight road. It's always a zigzag. The winners are always those who actually start accepting these challenges and translating many of these challenges into opportunities. So where you are today, please try and understand that you are actually privileged. Don't compare yourselves that had I attempted 2 more questions in CAT, I would probably have been sitting in some other institute and everything. No, please. One day doesn't determine your competence, your fate, the chart that you guys are going to have it up over there. So wherever you are, please understand that you are very, very privileged. Mind you, while you may be looking at those 2 questions, which could have fetched you another institute, there would be somebody else sitting underneath you with, 2 percentile points lower than you, who would be thinking that had I done 2 more, I would have been probably sitting in 4. So please, it's always a comparative. It's always so relative. So please be proud of where you have come so far. Please understand that you guys are privileged. And lastly, please understand that you have a huge role to play. When Dr. Verma asked me that can I come for this particular session to talk to you, I immediately jumped at that. Number one, because to feel the energy that I'm feeling right now in the room, it's something which is actually overwhelming, and it kind of motivates me to do better whatever I am doing at the moment. But also for the same reason that I feel that as a country, we are at a brilliant cusp. I mean, what Honorable Prime Minister has talked about Viksit Bharat by 2047, I don't think that's a dream. I mean, it's actually going to be a reality at the pace at which we are moving in. And to ensure that we reach there ASAP, you guys are the tools who are going to make that happen. So it's a great thing to be an Indian right now, to be in India right now, and to contribute to India's growth story right now. So whatever you study at FSM, please always keep that in mind, that you are there with a responsibility and you have to fulfill that responsibility. Number one. And on the other side, stay aware, because immense opportunities are coming your way. I mean, as we grow economically, people like you are so much so in demand. I mean, may not be on day one, but as you move, as you gain experience, as you move from sector to sector, from company to company, you will realize how much demand you guys are going to be up over there. So these two things, please keep them in mind. So I just wanted to share with you today my own journey, in case that can be an example for you as to how life takes you all over. Idea is to be stable, be conscious, be aware, and start looking at creating opportunities out of pitfalls. So that's something which I wanted to leave behind for you. But then there are certain core which you should never compromise on, because I mean, a big building, a tall building, is always built on very strong foundations. If the foundation is not strong, I mean, rest assured the building is going to fall. So those basic foundations, and all of you are very smart people, intelligent people. There is plethora of information which is available today on the net, in libraries, in books, on your mobile phones. What I'll share with you are some very basic concepts that has actually kept me going all these years. you know so I'll briefly touch upon them. Couple of them: discipline. I mean, there's no substitute to that. Hard work, no substitute to that. But along with hard work, something that I've learned over the years is also smart work. So it's not necessary to be slogging all the time when you can reach some place through a better path, or through a more efficient path. So smart work is also something that I would want to leave behind. I'll touch upon that. I mean, I'm a Ramkrishna Mission student, so I've been very inspired by Swami Vivekananda also. So on multiple occasions, Swamiji has talked about multiple things. But one thing that I want to leave behind when I'm talking about certain core values that you should carry with you. I mean, he had always talked about. I mean, he talked that in the context of attaining God. I mean, so if you want to attain God, but I feel that's so important for life also. So he said that there are three essentials to either success, to attaining God, to achieving anything that you want to do. And those are three P's basically, which I want you to remember. One is purity. And when I say purity, it has to be the intent, your integrity, your ethos, your ethics that you carry over there. Never compromise on them. So purity is the first P that I wanted to leave behind. Second is patience. Many a times we are, I mean, as a generation, I have seen many of you being very anxious, wanting things to happen quickly. I mean, that. But patience is a big, big virtue, especially if you're wanting to run a marathon. It's not a 100 meters sprint for you guys. You have to be there in this profession for next 35, 40 years. So you have to be very, very patient with what you do, where you do, how you do, where you go, everything. And the last P that you had talked about was perseverance. Again, I mean, you can translate it as into other words as hard work, as discipline, and everything. But these three P's: purity, patience, and perseverance. I mean, these are absolute necessities for any success that you want to look at in your life. I would want to leave those behind with you. Obviously, what Dr. Verma talked about, as I told you, foundations have to be strong. So please utilize your 2 years building a very solid academic foundation also. I mean, it's almost 30, 35 years when I had done my MBA, but even now I often go back to those basics whenever I want or whenever I'm undertaking those new things. They are never out of fashion. So please utilize these 2 years to build yourselves very, very academically also. There's no substitute for that. And that actually reflects in your discipline, in your hard work and everything. Many a times you will have that doubt that why am I studying this? What help it'll do that? Rest assured, I mean, the course curriculum and others are very scientifically made. So please, I mean, even if, when you are under doubt, please, I mean, keep it aside for the time being and do well in academics. Nothing can be better for you. Uh, Obviously, having said the basics right, now I would like to really touch upon things that I have realized over my 30, 35 years of career. I mean, one is that you have to always develop, learn, and develop this habit of being adaptable. As I told you, in my life, I told you about my career journey. Similarly, you will realize that, you know, uh, technology, for example, I mean, I'm in SAP, I worked in OYO, both were very technology dependent. I mean, you just look at yourselves. There was a time when the whole city was besotted with STD booths where you actually, had to go and dial a number to talk to your parents at home or to talk to anybody outside this thing. That whole thing is gone. There was a huge era when people who used to like photography were fanatics for cameras. That whole thing is gone. There was an era where people used to actually, in FICCI, we used to have huge reports which we used to, photocopy and Xerox and do all those things. Everything is gone. So you necessarily need to be very aware as to where things are. So somebody who would have been working in a company like Xerox or some other photocopier company used to think that, or Canon used to think that I'm at the top of the world. But look where the business has taken them to be. And businesses had to adapt. So only such businesses survived and were able to adapt. So you guys, tomorrow when you join a company, when you join an organization, you have to be the torchbearer of this adaptability. You have to be the radar to bring in that, hey, such and such change is going to happen, which is going to hit us. What are we doing about that change? So adaptability, technology, these are these are, I mean, some things that I really want you to take along. And as I told you, I mean, I'll just repeat the three P's that I talked to you about: purity, patience, and perseverance. I also want to leave behind three E's that I was when I was preparing for this, when I was writing. Keep your integrity intact. Ethics is the first E that I want to you. Empathy is something that many business schools have not seen them really doing that. Be aware of the society you are in. In case you get time, go and join some NGO which is doing some good work in a Jhuggi Jhopri next to you. That learning is also very, very important to make you a strong leader day after tomorrow. Uh, don't forget to carry the flag of equity. I mean, which is to be equitable, to be just, to be fair, and also remain earnest. I mean, that's something, that hunger to learn is something that there should be there. Unfortunately, I mean, always on these occasions, I tend to overshoot because there are so many things that I want to talk to. But thank you for very much for your patience listening. Thank you very much, and wish you all the best. I'll just conclude with something which Swami Vivekanand has also said. He talked about Uttist Jagrat Prapyavarana Vidhovat, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your invaluable thoughts with us. I am sure it will greatly inspire all the students.
Now, we would like to introduce Mr. Rajesh Magu, our chief guest. Mr. Rajesh Magu is the co founder and Group Chief Executive Officer of Make My Trip Limited, India's leading online travel company. In this role, he leads the organization's strategic direction, spearheading growth, and shaping the long term vision across the group's portfolio. Over the years, Mr. Margot has played a crucial role in shaping several defining milestones for Make My Trip, including its listing on NASDAQ in 2010, the merger with the IBO Group, and steering the company through the pandemic with a contrarian strategy of launching new businesses, laying the foundation for a strong resurgence. Mr. Margot serves as a chairman of the FICCI Tourism Committee and a non executive independent director on the board of Info Edge. He was previously on the board of Flipkart. A believer in India's digital opportunity and an active supporter of many young Indian tech companies, he is passionate about transforming businesses and leveraging technology to create disproportionate value for customers. Mr. Margot has received multiple industry awards, including Ernst and Young Entrepreneur of the Year Services 2024, Times Now India's Impactful CEO 2024, and the Economic Times Human Capital Awards, such as the People Focused CEO of the Year 2023 and the Retail EDNA E-commerce Leader of the Year 2023. We welcome you, sir, and request you that you address our incoming batch.
Good evening, everyone. I'm in a bit of dilemma. One, because I'm trying to put myself into your shoes, that you've been patiently listening to so much of Gyan for the last couple of hours. Aren't you overwhelmed? Yeah. And then the other reason why I'm in dilemma is I have nothing more to add after what Vikas has spoken to. I really don't know what else to say, because there was tremendous amount of learning that he shared along with, I don't know how many of you realized, through his life journey. And then on top of that, that he had prepared everything to give you, smart tips as well. So then I was sitting there and thinking, now I have to still go there and do something, speak something about. And on the fly, I think I'm so glad that I didn't prepare any speech, because all those points would have got covered anyways. But let me start with first thanking everyone, Director Verma and team, and of course Vikas has just left, and Chairman Sir. In fact, Professor Siriparna has been actually persevering me to get here for a while, and I'm so sorry. I apologize. I missed an opportunity or two, but I'm so glad to be finally be able to make it. Because it's just very interesting, very exciting to interact with the future of India, hopefully future of world, whenever you get an opportunity. And sometimes you just can't make it because of the clashes in your own calendar. But I'm so glad that I'm finally able to make it. All right, so let me try to talk to future of India, share different perspective, maybe some of the practical stuff, and more futuristic than historical, and talk more about what's likely to be future of work, especially in the context of the buzzword today. You know what the buzzword today is, right? It is the AI, right? And what's going to happen? Everyone is thinking about it. Some of you are already using GPT and the Geminis and the rest of it, and also getting excited about it. But what does this really mean? There's so much of, for a lack of better word, noise about it. There's so much of a real debate about it. There is so much in the organization. We are already not only trying to embrace the technology, but also trying to figure out how the organizations will shape itself or themselves into the future of this new changing world, and rapidly. The the pace of change, I must tell you, in the technology, this wave of technology, having been there and now part of Make My Trip for last 26 years, which is essentially a technology business, happens to be in travel, we have not seen this kind of a rapid change happening before. There was a 10 years ago, 12 years ago, there was a moment where the mobile device came into the world, and that changed the world. And that was also a pretty, exciting but pretty solid change that came, that sort of changed the whole way of working, and not only by the organization but also by the consumers, by people, by all of us. Right? It just became the way of life. Now artificial intelligence is, with the even more rapid change, is likely to change the world. So the first important point that you should all know, that AI is here and will stay, and it is only going to get better and better, right? Because I don't think that's the debate anymore. All right, and I'll tell you the more practical aspects that you should be worrying about, caring about. But first, please keep this thing in mind, because I don't think any one of us should be in denial mode that the artificial intelligence is not here. Right? There's so much investment that is going behind trying to innovate stuff on artificial intelligence. It's not funny. The trillions of dollars are going into it. Trillions of dollars is the size of the country, by the way. Many countries have their economy size of $1 trillion. And that's the kind of investment that is going behind this. So then innovation is bound to happen, and at a rapid pace, right? So there's too much at stake right now. So that's happening. That is the new world. That's absolutely coming. Now, what does it mean for future of work in India? What does it mean for you guys when you get into the important sort of phase of your life to learn? What does it mean differently from your own learning standpoint? Some part of this, the institution will take care of it, which is, Dr. Verma spoke about it, and it was heartening to know that the education institutions are also keeping pace with what's happening in the world. Right? And then changing the curriculums. In any case, the B school, the good B schools, FORE is definitely one of them. They were always keeping pace with the industry to make sure that the course curriculum is relevant. So that part will be taken care of. But what is that you should think differently about? Let me tell you 2, 3 very, very important things. What is that AI is going to be, and this part of it is good news, part of it is going to be significant change for you guys. All right? So just try to sort of listen in, absorb in as much as you can. The part that is going to become easier, which I call it as more good news, that you will have these tools very, very easily available in front of you. And these tools are going to be super powerful, super, super powerful. All right? So what are they going to help you with? They're going to help you with all kind of mundane work, I call it. All kind of analysis that you want to do it. They will obviously be on top of it artificial intelligence with me, which means that you will get recommendations, you will get guidance, you will get all of that. And you will be tempted to use all of them every now and then. It will become an absolute way of life as the time goes. So what becomes important then? And what is that you should focus on? And what is that will not be replaceable from a human intelligence standpoint? Right? 3 things. 1, the judgment is not going to be replaceable at all. The machine is working on the data that machine has. Machine has the power of computing, and the models that have been built based on sort of ton of information, computing that and bringing in the intelligence layer on top of it to give you the recommendation. But that may not still be enough for you to be able to take the right decisions. in your work life, in your personal life, whatever sphere that you want to look at it. It will help you, it will enable you, it will probably guide you, but something that you have to which is not replaceable, which there will have to be human intelligence, is going to be my own gut, my own intuitive sort of ability, my own sense of judgment, my own way of taking decisions, the ability to take decisions not necessarily in the certain world but also the uncertain world, right? Because the world is full of uncertainties, as you just realized, right? That's not going to change. So what is that you should go back and do? You should obviously learn the fundamentals, make the foundation, as Vikas said, very, very strong, stronger than ever before, because there will be regular stuff that you will get so much of assistance, you don't really need to memorize that, learn that, and stuff like that. I mean, you can glance through it, but you will still, after you complete your course, you will go back and use it, because that'll be the way of life. But what you can possibly do to learn more and more, besides being learning more the application side, but also trying to develop the decision making muscle very, very strong. I'll tell you, it is a very practical thing when you go into the real life. After you complete your education, when you go into the real life, it is extremely, extremely important. All right, that's point number one. The second point, which is not replaceable, is going to be adaptability, right? This is also very soft, right? It's not very hard, it's very soft. That there is so much of change, and I spoke about rapid change that is happening, not only in technology world, but even otherwise. There is so much of change. Look around you and see the number of wars that we have in today's day and age, right? It brings in uncertainty all the time. And here, Vikas was again alluding to our own journey in the travel industry. It has been an absolute roller coaster. Absolute roller coaster. It's been fascinating, but it's been an absolute roller coaster. There is so much of disruption, and in the process that we have learned to develop and harness some of those skills to live and not only survive but thrive, hopefully, in the uncertain world. It's going to be an extremely, extremely important thing, not replaceable. No machine will be able to ever do this, right? Think about it. It's just very simple. It's just very rational to think about like this. Then the other thing that is going to be very, very important, again, will not change ever, is to working with people, right? So what is that? And in many B schools, one of the most important things that everybody sort of develops is what? Is the interpersonal skills, but it's also the network, right? Because, and then, and it's a saying, right? You are a batch 25 or you are a batch 26 and you are this college back and that college batch. And that's how the world moves, right? Right? Because you just work with each other. And, imagine in the context of the work life, nothing moves without working together. Absolutely not. And those, humans will have to, again, machines might be on the backdrop, trying to help you with all the powerful artificial intelligence that they will have. And they will have, those machines will have that. But you still will have to work together to figure out what is that goal that we are trying to chase and what should be the execution strategy. And therefore, what is that we should do? So the nature of jobs, the skills that you would require to harness would be different, maybe a lot different than you would typically, sort of have been doing it, or people have been learning and developing it in the past. I think that's going to definitely change. So look forward to that as you sort of spend your next couple of years learning stuff. The other thing that I would like to just highlight, again, it's a very practical thing. Again, it's been alluded to in the previous talks as well, but just want to re-emphasize the nuanced point in that at some level, entrepreneurship has become a very cliche thing to say. And oftentimes, at least in my experience, it is misunderstood. And it is misunderstood in the context of saying that entrepreneurship or it has only to do with starting a startup and building a startup and building your own company. Now, let me give you a different perspective. To my mind, the entrepreneurial mindset is what is important, and that is far more universally applicable than just the entrepreneurship, which means, sort of owning a particular place or financial ownership, for a lack of a better word. Entrepreneurial mindset is what you should develop. What is entrepreneurial mindset? The entrepreneurial mindset is of taking full ownership. Now, this can work whether even in your personal life, in your work life, whether you are doing a startup or it's a large corporate, mid-sized corporate, public sector, private sector, no matter what. It is a very simple, at some level, mindset to state, but very hard to practice. So the submission and the request will be develop that sort of habit, to practice that, to take full ownership, to be solution provider, not the problem or the troublemaker, right? Starting from oath to till the previous speaker, there is so much that you have already received. Even if you take 10%, 20% of them, trust me, you will be able to sort of do well in your life. And rest of it you will discover as you go along, right? You don't have to now go back and say, सर ने ये बोला था, मैम ने ये बोला था, chairman sir ने ये बोला था, राजेश ने ये बोला था, विकास ने ये बोला था. Just take it as it comes. Whatever you are able to absorb, that is good enough. And then start to sort of focus more on honestly practicing some of that. That's what will come. So going back to entrepreneurial mindset is going to be super critical for everybody's potential success, whether you are setting up your own shop or not. Doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. All right? That is the second thought that I wanted to leave it with you. And the third and absolute last, let's try to be brief, enough of Gyan, is to let me leave you with a very high note. And that's about the opportunity in front of you guys. You are in a generation that is getting the foundation in the country, which is super solid, what we were there when we were growing up. Nothing right or wrong about it. It was just the evolution of the country. But country has been evolving for the last many years and picked up pace in terms of development in the past 10, 15 years, significantly. And the future, therefore, looks much, much brighter. Look at anything. Let me just throw a few data points for you. India is the only country today, whether you take real GDP growth or a nominal GDP growth, the number that will be familiar with to everyone will be 6.5%. We've been growing at about 8%. No other country in the world is growing at that rate. No other country in the world. All right? And the projections are also likely to be there. The look around you, see the infrastructure investment that is happening, because the country, the economy will grow with investments. And the investments, which is supposed to be input. When you have input, then only you'll get output, right? So you will have to focus on, you have to see on what are those inputs which are required to grow the economy. And those are all happening in the right areas. The investment in the infrastructure happening in the right areas, which is the physical infrastructure. See new airports, you see the highways, the expressways. You now enjoy taking, your car to a nearby staycation and so on, right? Because it's just fun driving the car now, right? And you've got new railways, new rails coming in and all of that. So physical infrastructure, as well as the digital infrastructure. 1 billion people are on internet today in our country. Similar number, give or take, have mobile device. Imagine how much of information and content and commerce, etc., you can do it at ease. Was never before. In our country, in the digital world, there are world-class, world-first initiatives have been taken. UPI is a great example of that. Aadhaar is another great example of that, right? Democratizing, making the payment, peer-to-peer payments, etc., super easy, absolutely super easy. There's tremendous amount of investment that is happening in the private sector, public sector, by the government, in the right areas to make sure the economy continues to keep growing. And if I start comparing in relative terms with the rest of the world, it looks even more brighter, right? What does this mean for you? This only means tremendous amount of opportunities. The only thing that you have to do, possibly, is to make sure that you don't get distracted with the noise around you. There is going to be tremendous amount of noise around AI, what will happen to the jobs, etc., etc. There will be some impact at some place, but overall, it will only be adding more different kind of jobs. Just focus on, if the world is changing, what are the different things that I need to do for me to be able to stay relevant in the new world? That's going to be the most important thing, because overall macro condition and the foundation of the country is solid, and if the investments in the country continue to keep happening, then you will only have opportunities and different kind of opportunities. Now, it's possible that, in the mobile world, the Android developer or an iOS developer will have to upgrade the skills. Of course, they will have to upgrade the skills. But guess what? A lot of those engineers who were not familiar with mobile technologies had to upgrade their skills even back then. So what's the difference? So all what we need to do is to keep moving with the moving world. There is no other substitute for that. All right? Is that enough now? Shall we call it a day? All right, let's just call it a day. These are the thoughts that I wanted to share. I really, really enjoyed being here, and I wish you really all the best. And as Dr. Verma said, keep your passports ready, and if you need visas, Make My Trip can help you. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your journey, accomplishments, and insightful address will really motivate us to carve a niche for ourselves.
As a token of a As a token of our gratitude and appreciation, we request Chairman Sir to present the memento to our chief guest, Mr. Rajesh Magu.
Thank you, sir. We now request our director, Dr. Subir Verma, to present the memento to our guest of honor, Mr. Bikas Kumar Singh. Thank you, sir. As we mark the beginning of a new academic journey for our incoming students, we now invite Professor Sangamitra Buddhipriya to deliver a vote of thanks.
Uh, Good evening, everyone. Honorable Chairman, Dr. BBL Madhukar, our Director, Dr. Subir Verma, our distinguished guests, Mr. Rajesh Mago and Mr. Vivek Kumar Singh, Dean Academics, Dr. Basu, our distinguished guests, executive board members, parents, esteemed faculty members, parents, and my dear students. As you come to the close of this memorable induction ceremony, I would like to share a simple story to our newly inducted students. This story is about a pencil. When the pencil is ready for the market, the pencil maker asked it, "How do you feel?" The pencil mentioned that I'm super excited because I'm now going to get into a nice box. Then I'll also move from place to place, and I'd also get a chance to be used by many people. So therefore, I'm super excited. But the pencil maker advised him 5 things. Number one, first, you will do great things, but only if you allow yourself to be guided. Second, you will experience painful sharpening from time to time, but this process will make you better. Third, you will make mistakes, but you can always erase them, learn from them. Fourth, what matters the most is not your outer appearance, but the quality of what is inside you. And last but not the least, wherever you go, leave your mark. Dear students, this particular story has a lot of relevance for your life. Over the next 2 decades, you will be getting opportunity to be guided by your professors, mentors, peers, alumni, corporates. But how are you going to use this guidance fruitful? That is, that depends upon your openness for guidance. This 2 years journey is going to be sharpened by rigorous learning, challenges, and experiences. Embrace every opportunity with curiosity, humility, and resilience. Learn from your mistakes, stay true to your values, and strive to leave a positive mark wherever your life takes you. I think most of the speakers have mentioned about these things. Remember, the success in management education is not measured merely by your grades or your intelligence. It is built on continuous learning, integrity, discipline, courage to question, and the ability to create a positive impact on people and society. With this thought, it is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks. On behalf of the entire FORE fraternity, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished guests, Mr. Rajesh Maggo and Mr. Vikas Kumar Singh, for graciously accepting our invitation and sharing their valuable insights. I'm sure our students must have been greatly benefited out of their deliberations, and these are truly inspiring for our students as they begin their exciting journey. I also express my sincere gratitude to our respected chairman, Dr. BBL Madhukar, for gracing this induction ceremony. Your visionary leadership and unwavering support has been instrumental in shaping the Institute's growth. I'd also like to express my sincere gratitude to our director, Dr. Subir Verma, for his unconventional approach, constant encouragement, and commitment to academic excellence through innovative initiatives. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to our executive board members for their continuous guidance and support in shaping the Institute's growth. My sincere appreciation goes to our Dean Academics, Dr. Basu, all the faculty members, and the academic office for their meticulous planning and ensuring the successful conduct of this program. A special word of thanks to our administrative staff, computer center, and other staff for various offices for their dedicated support behind this scene. I also congratulate our students, especially the volunteers, uh, Ved Prakash and Pearl Johari, who compared the program very well. Your enthusiasm, teamwork, and professionalism has contributed immensely to the success of this ceremony. Finally, to all our newly inducted students and parents, we welcome you once again to the FORE family. We are delighted to have you with us. May the next 2 years be filled with learning, growth, and meaningful friendship and achievements that make you and the institutions proud. Thank you, all of you, for your gracious presence and support. Have a wonderful journey.
Thank you, ma'am, for extending the vote of thanks. Let me now request all the members present in the program to rise for the national anthem. Following the national anthem, I request that the guests remain seated until the dignitaries have exited the hall.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे